Hello everybody, welcome back to AI War Classic. It's time to finally, after much delay, get this showdown underway. And I don't know if I'm ready for it or not, but we're gonna give it a whirl. Of course, it feels a little weird to be playing the original after having spent a bunch of time recently in the sequel AI War 2, but Classic's still an excellent game in its own right, and we've got to explore what's going to happen here. Now, I changed my plan a bit because in Coruscant, where we need to trigger this, once we build the command station, everything's supposed to start. And I realized I really wanted to have defenses up before I trigger it. So I captured Sylvia, and then we're ready to jump in here. So we've got our mobile builder, and we just got to build the command station. We've got all of our ships in this location. And all of our Showdown and the homeworld have this sort of setup with a Mark II, Mark III hardened force field over the strong point here of flak and lightning turrets. I also unlocked these, the counter missile turrets. Haven't used those before, but they should obviously help against any missile frigates and whatnot. I've built a few martyrs around in key systems to sort of help. Basically, I just want to use those in case we get overwhelmed a bit to sort of thin everything out. Distributed engineers around all of that stuff. And I also unlocked the Mark II and Mark III military command stations. We're going to be putting the Mark III military up here. And so I've spread them out. There are actually very few systems now that don't have some sort of advanced command station, either Logistics 2 or Mark II or 3 of the military. And mostly I'm investing not so much in Spirecraft, but in the turrets. Melpomene, particularly the homeworld, I mean, I've got everything up here. Got the heavy beam cannons and all of the key systems. And then there's a few systems that aren't that important. Janus, MJ-12, Iapetus. Those I'm not defending quite as heavily. I may want to throw up matter converters and throw up more turrets in the Showdown worlds, or I may just want to save the metal for rebuilding. I don't really know. I have to see sort of how this goes and how we should react to it. But I'm excited to trigger this, see what sort of story things are available, and what exactly is going to happen. One kind of amusing thing is we did trigger another Dire Guardian that came into Philomela, Dire Widow Guardian, and the spider turrets were so strong that they knocked out its engine right about here, and they have 100k engine health, so they're not particularly dinky. I also did a couple science hacks to get the necessary knowledge. I've got a little bit of extra here. So this is just sort of our... I'll be a little surprised if I succeed the first time. But mainly I just want to see how this goes. And who knows, we might be able to, given how strong all of our turrets are. But I just got to get this thing kicked off. And there you go. You can see we've used all of them except for this one. So I planned that out properly. And let's get this show on the road. Should not take long for our engineers to construct this. Boom. Okay. Showdown devices shutting down AI warp grid in 30 minutes. Provoking wave in 1 minute, provoking exogalactic attack in 3 minutes, or 2.5, provoking counter wave in 5 minutes. All right, let's see what we got. And of course, we're going to build this. This is going to give us some more energy. Which for now, I'm just going to bank as sort of my reserve. Let's get all of you right over here in the middle where you should be. Just keeping them in here for now. I just got to kind of see, what's the strength of this? How much salvage are we going to get? What sort of things are going to happen? And another thing that happened is a lot of the metal harvesters in other systems, when I upgraded the command stations, put a new command station in, if the metal harvesters were partway built, they just stalled, and I had to delete the metal harvester and have it rebuild it from scratch. So that's something that's worth remembering. Okay, 82 ships to Ouija Man in half a minute. That's not going to cause us any problems. That one's looking a little bigger to Lunrace. I'm guessing the exo attacks and the counter waves are going to be more significant. Okay. What's interesting is they don't seem to be targeting the Showdown systems. At least not yet. I'm not sure what counter wave is. I'm curious to see how big those are. What are you actually bringing us? Okay, they got a flat Guardian. And of course, our grav turrets are going to be worth their weight in gold here, particularly. But you can see, like, against this size of a wave, the sniper turrets just obliterate it. Okay. So these are a counter waves and a CPA. Now it's going to provoke. Okay. So we're going to be seeing some more activity. But for now, we're 5 minutes plus in and we are doing just dandy. In fact, our metal income is increasing. We're staying at the top there. And my goal here is not to retain all of my systems. That's probably not going to be possible. What my goal is, though, is to retain as much of the key stuff as I can. Obviously, you got to defend the homeworld and the Showdown systems at least. And then just be able to have enough left after it's over. Just survive. Let's pop into Philomela, make sure they're okay over there. This is not one of the more heavily defended systems, but it did fight off a wave of 900 and some a while back. Okay, yeah, 600 Mark II fighters, a flagship, and a leech. And that should not be a problem at all. This definitely appears to be the most dangerous current incoming wave, though. So let's just sort of hang out here and make sure it's fine. Okay, and we're going to have another 600 some coming to M Shadowy. And I think part of this is just going to be the relentless nature of them. But I think also that our variety of systems, like we have so many different ones, is probably going to play into our favor in terms of there's so many different targets for them to attack, and if they're picking systems at random, which they appear to be, then I think that we'll be able to spread them out. So it might have been a good thing that I took a bunch of different systems. I was thinking I had too many. And there's another Spire civilian leader doing its thing. Well, they tried to run away and then thought better of it because... Okay, there's an exo attack pathing through. We're going to stall some of those ships in here and make sure they don't leave. CPA coming in now in less than a minute. 20 minutes left in the showdown. Can we handle it? And I'm going to say for the first 10 minutes, we did fine. I expect it to get much worse. But we did totally fine here. We have not even broken a sweat. And let's see what kind of CPA size we're going to get here. That's the thing I'm most concerned about. Large exogalactic attack in 5 minutes. 1,500 ships in the CPA, piece of cake. Okay, now we've got our first serious action. Lots of them coming in here to Letitia. Oh, yeah. Teleport battle stations. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Slow this down to normal speed. And this is where most of the CPA appeared to have shown up. But still, I think we're going to survive this. And one of the things is, I don't have it here. These are logistic command stations. They're one of my least important systems overall. But the military command station, the Mark II gives you the 50% boost to your attack, and the Mark III, the more defended systems, 100%. So doubling a bunch of Mark V turrets is not healthy for the opposition. $140, yeah, there isn't that much left. They've got some snipers, they've got some of those. Yeah, they're running away now, some of them. And we are going to succeed in defending that first CPA, even here in what is basically quite a wimpy system. There they go. They appear to be cleared out. And so now, of course, we want to send out and get everything rebuilt. And the big EXO has shown up. Looks like it was in the vicinity of a little over 1,000 threat. Now, it's very possible the last 10 minutes are going to give us something else. But I got to be honest. Right now, I'm not that impressed with the Showdown. Like, I thought it would be worse. You can see our salvage is ridiculous. Because our natural income is just over 4,000. Maybe about 4,500 now with Coruscant in tow. So we are getting like twice that much from just salvage, and the list, the list is long. All right, we've got 15 seconds now until the next CPA. Our current threat is 750. How much will it be once this thing hits? Last one was about 1,500 ships. And this one is about the same. So it's not escalating much, if at all. They're a mix of Mark I and Mark II. And I feel that we should be able to handle this. Here's our next attempt at a major attack. Some of the threat coming in here to MJ-12. Okay, a large exo attack and a final cross-planet attack coming right at the end. But the grid will already be down by the time those show up. I got over 1,000 in here. That's no particular child's play. A couple of them are in carriers. We've got some frigates. Let's hold on a moment, because I don't think this is one of the weaker systems. So let's go ahead and throw up one of these. We can always take it down later. And let's protect, this is the direction they're coming from. Let's protect there with a counter missile. Yep, bunch of them still in carriers. They've got mini rams. I don't think they'll do much against our grav turrets, although we only have the lower Mark ones. You know what? It wouldn't hurt for me to throw up a Mark III one over here. We don't have much in the way of engineers in this system to get all this stuff going. Yep, and there's their frigates coming in. But I think this will get finished eventually. And so what came in here was essentially, I think, about a third to a half of the accumulated threat. It's dumping out a bunch of stuff. It's trying to make its way through, but I don't think it's going to. Okay. Yeah. They did get in a couple hits on our force field over here, but I don't see them breaking through in this. And meanwhile, we've only got 3 minutes. There we go. And now we're shooting down some of their missiles. Yep, you can see them getting vaporized over there. Up they were until that went away. So this was definitely the closest they've come to taking out really a system that I could afford to lose. So if that's the best they do, I'm going to be just fine. All right, final 15 seconds. And clearly we are going to succeed in shutting down the AI warp grid. That part is going to happen. 1500 threat. AI home command stations have mobilized. You are your own destruction. That doesn't sound good. 3 massive ships of 20 million strength en route to your planets. Okay. Threat 24,000? Huh. You don't say. Well, I think we have some work to do. What I need to do here, I believe, is gather up my entire fleet from Coruscant and send it back home. Because these are likely to all come to Melpomene, whatever the heck they are. So when they get close, I'm going to want to be there to combat them. I'm not really going to care about anything else. Even the Showdown systems don't matter at this point. But 24,000 threat, 3 immensely powerful ships. That we probably need to be concerned about. Now, just a short time later, bad things are happening. More bad things are in process. Ursula is gone. Quayar is gone. Neither one of those were particularly vital systems. Philomela is under a large attack. There's even a few ships on Melpomene, but not that many there, and our transports are almost home. But things are going to get worse before they get better. And unfortunately, there's a lot more than cleanup left here, which is why I'm going to have to do a cliffhanger and come back with more. Hopefully, the conclusion will come soon. Just a bit of a teaser on that. When it said, if we go click on a system, when it says home command stations have mobilized, I thought that meant, when I first read it, that, you know, they've mobilized all their fleets and they're coming after us. No, the home command stations have literally mobilized. And they are quite scary indeed. So, combating that whole thing, you can see Hygeia. That was a home world. Look what's there now. Not a whole lot. All the core guard posts, gone. The command stations, gone. They've got, you know, ion cannons, orbital mass drivers. Same thing with Dagobah. They have basically vacated the premises, and let's just say they haven't gone out on a shopping trip. Of the initial almost 25,000, we still have yet to deal with 22,000 and change. Most of it is still out there. And when I tried to deal with this part initially, I failed hard. So I have an idea on how to do it, but I'm not entirely sure I can pull it off. I'll give it my best shot from this point going forward when we resume. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. The showdown will continue as we have basically reached the climax. See you then.